Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I want to talk about something very important that I've noticed about Trump's stock market. And at this point, it's happened enough times that I think we got him figured out. We got Trump's stock market figured out. I had already figured him out, but I wanted confirmation. Right? And you guys know me. I don't touch that support until it touches it the third time it recovers. So, same thing. What we're seeing now is Trump doing the same thing over and over again. Hey guys, tariffs, stock market goes down. Oh, hey guys, pause, stock market pumps. Right? Rinse and repeat. The point is, just buy the dip. Like, literally, just buy the dip. Like, this guy keeps giving you, literally, the president of the US keeps giving you dip buying opportunities. And he'll just outright tell you, hey, good time to buy. So I think too many people discredit this guy. He's giving you one hell of an opportunity every single time. Every single time. And for some reason, I don't know. I don't know why people look. You look past all the politics and what's going on with all that. I don't care, quite frankly. I'm just going to sit here and do my trading and make my money and invest. I'm not going to bet against the United States. I'm not going to bet against the U.S. I think, who was it? Warren Buffett? Maybe it wasn't Warren Buffett, but I remember that quote. Don't bet against the United States of America. I'm never going to bet against it. That's why I never talk about shorting. When have you heard me talk about shorting? I don't talk about shorting. I don't short. I go long. I've always gone long and I always will go long. I'm never going to short it. I've been tempted to short when we're trending to the downside like this, but uh, nah. I'm just going to buy the dip every single time. So I'm on my knees right now, begging you, please, please buy the dip on good companies. And it's easy money, right? You've seen already the cycles. I know a lot of you discovered my channel recently back in that last hoorah, right? Back when we had that last pump on AI and quantum stocks, everything just skyrocketed one last time before everything inevitably came down, right? Because things can't go up forever, just like things can't go down forever. And thus the cycles repeat. A lot of you who have been following me on this journey, you've seen the cycles already, so you should know how to play the game. You know now, hey, yeah, it looks ugly when it keeps going down. Let's see, what's a popular stock here? I'm trying to think of a popular. Let's talk about GME, right? Let's use GME as an example. It's a very popular meme stock. I'm going to use GME as an example here. You know, nobody wants it when it comes down nice and cheap and it's tanking and everyone's like, oh no, it's the end of the world. It goes under that purple line, right? That 200 WMA, which if you guys have been following this channel, you know my strategy. It's a very simple strategy. It's a purple line. It's a weighted moving average. It's the 200. If you're using Moomoo, you can go to indicators, literally type in. I give away this strategy because it's really that mindless, but mainly because most people aren't going to be patient with it. So type in weighted, WMA, add it to your chart, then go to settings and, change it to purple or whatever color. I like purple. So purple, move average cycle 200, confirm. There you go. Now you have the same setup as I do. Oh my God, I'm no genius, man. What makes you profitable with this strategy is buying when everyone else is scared, when it's under that purple line. People see it tanking and they're like, oh no, it's the end of the world. And then it pumps again. Oh no, it's the end of the world. And then it pumps again. Oh no, it's the end of the world. And then, like, these cycles repeat over and over again. Whether it's Biden's stock market or Trump's stock market or Obama's stock market. In fact, I don't care whose stock market it is. But what we do know is we have a president who literally tells you when to buy. And so this is probably going to be the easiest stock market for the next 4 years or so. It's probably going to be the easiest stock market to trade. I can't even begin to imagine what a bull run's going to be like. I don't know. I don't know what to expect now. The market conditions have changed, and because of that, I've been a little more cautious. Yes, I've been buying the dips, right, on good companies, but I've been a little more cautious because I'm like, I don't know what to expect from this guy. But now we've seen the pattern, and that's what we do, right? If you guys follow my channel, we abuse patterns. That's what we do. We see where the bottom is, and hey, let's abuse the bottom. Anyone who tells you you can't time the bottom, you can time the bottom on GME. You just gotta sit and wait. You can use the 200 WMA as your signal. You can use, let's see, let's add the, I don't care about the RSI. The MACD, it's already down there. I don't know why I'm like, hey, let's add it. The MACD, we go to parameter, change it to 12.26.4, confirm, and let's make this bigger. By the way, happy Memorial Day to everyone. I'm eating, I wish I could eat outside, but it's still cold. Anyways, you can see on the weekly time frame what happens anytime GME gets a crossover. Massive pump. Crossover, pump. This is the weekly time frame, just to be clear. So, it plays out over the course of weeks. Oh, what happened here? Nobody wanted it when I was falling, and crossover happened here at around 26.89. Now it's at 32. So you can make money here just following these signals, but the problem is these signals, guess what? I'm giving these strategies away, but people don't have that patience. They're not going to wait months for the next pump. They want to see it pump first and then chase. But that's the wrong way to think about it. And him's another perfect example. Like we really have learned a lot. I've learned a lot because of the changing market conditions. When the new president came in, I noticed the stock market behaving very, differently from before. And I was like, I don't know what to expect here. Looks like we're going to dump. We did. And it was nothing more than opportunity. Hims. Right now, everyone was talking about, oh, Hims, it's going to go to 100. It's worth so much more, blah, 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 pump, 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 by these bigger influencers. But ultimately, you zoom out on the chart, and what do you see? I have some white arrows pointing. What do you see? You should know the cycles already. Things go up and then they come down nice and cheap and then they go up, rinse and repeat. So long as you're not buying trash, you should have learned in 2025, like, man, this Shades guy, it really is this simple. How did I not see this before? Because at the end of the day, you're either the one chasing or you bought it when it was cheap. Actually, there's more risk buying up here than down here. Down here, at least, you have all this of upside potential. Buying up here, hoping it goes higher, good luck. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Guess what? If you're the one that buys down here and abuses these patterns that appear long term, you don't care. You can just watch as everyone pushes it up for you and you just laugh and smile. You hold a cigar like George Costanza and you go, ha ha, told you not to sell. You're either on one side or the other. But hopefully you learned the cycles and how the game works. Hims. Is it a buy up here? People have been asking me, is it a buy? Hell no. What are you, stupid? Where's the purple line? Is the price under the purple line? No. Then it's not a buy. But every time it does come down here close to it or even under it or touches it, it's always been a buy and it always pumps. You want it when no one wants it. You get excited when things come down. And once you have that mentality, you will succeed in the stock market so long as you're focused on stocks that have these abusable patterns, right? If you're trading something like AITX, when the pattern breaks, you better get out. Also, I hope a lot of you learned not to go all in, because there's been many people that I met who went all in with 600K, lost 300K on Rigetti when it dropped 50%. There's people that went all in on BBAI at the top at $9 and they didn't, flip it. They just held on to it hoping for, I guess a 10x. And now they're down, 80% hoping it comes back up for them. And so on and so forth. There was an Arabic guy who he blew up $500,000. He borrowed money from his parents, which his parents actually lent him, 6 figures. He blew that up again. And then he asked me to help him. And I'm like, okay, I'll help you for free here. Just buy AITX here. And I told him to buy AITX here at 003 before this massive pump. Do you want to know what he did? He bought in with 30K of AITX at 003. And then 2 days before this massive green candle here, 2 days before the start of this massive pump to 0099, can you guess what happened? He sold off at a loss to go chase something else that was moving. And this repeated for months. And eventually I gave up on him because you cannot help someone who can't help themselves. The guy was a gambler. The guy couldn't control himself. He told me, he admitted himself, look, if I have money in the bank, I have to put it to work in the markets. I really need to make back the money that I borrowed and make back everything I've lost. And then eventually he kind of just spiraled down into, I need to get a bank loan. I'm going to sell off my possessions and I'm going to scrounge up another 30K, and hopefully this 30K that I'm going to put into a penny stock, hopefully it goes to $1 and I'll be a millionaire. Woo! It was ridiculous. I've never met someone that was bad. And I had to walk away from that person because it's like they were committing financial self-deletion, to put it nicely, because I can't say the S word, the one with the UI and that one, S, and then anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. Self-deletion in Minecraft, financial version of it. And I had to walk away. The guy was bleeding money. There were so many people that I'm like, man, I wish my parents could let me just, 6 figures to trade with and then blow it up and lend me another 30K. Like, I wish. But yeah, I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot these past 5 months from having that surge in people joining the Discord and meeting all kinds of traders who view things differently, or who just don't listen, or they're complete beginners who think that, they're the bee's knees because they have a finance degree or because they have 6 figures to start. At the end of the day, there's people with less than 10K who are succeeding because they have the patience, they have the discipline, and they buy good companies. In Trump's stock market, just buy the dip on good companies. And I don't see how you could fail so long as you're not going all in and you're having some diverse set of stocks in your portfolio. But a diverse set of good stocks. Because some people hear that and they go, "Oh, okay, I'm going to be diverse. I'm going to go all in on this one penny stock, and then I'll put like 10% in something safe." Like, wait, what? That doesn't. No, 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 no. You go all in. If anything, you go all in on the safe ETF or stock that continues to go higher over the long term, and then take your risky bets. Your risky bets should only be 10%. That's another thing I want to talk about is too many people don't. What's the word I'm looking for? Too many people don't realize that if you're starting with 5 to 10K versus someone that's starting with, let's say, 600K, like Polish girl, because she's a great example. If you're a Polish girl and you have 6 figures to trade with, you can afford to lose 10, 20K and you'll be fine. If your whole account is 10, 20K and you go all in, if you lose 30 to 50%, which can happen, or you hold the bag and all your money's tied up, which is worse because now you have nothing to play with. When you lose 10, 20K versus someone that has 600K and they can afford to lose that 10, 20K, it's a different game. The stock market really does, if you want to be a trader, it really does benefit the people who have at least 6 figures, or at least like mid 5 figures and beyond. Like minimum 30K, and you can actually, you can do it whatever. You got power with 30K, even 50K, and then once you get to 6 figures, you can play all kinds of, you can do all you can sell covered calls, collect that premium, that check, and then gamble that somewhere, and oh well if you lose it because it was just premium that you collected from shares you were holding long term. Like, it really does. It's a money printer if you're playing it right, and you can gamble with money that you've made with the safer stocks if you have the money. If you have that initial, mid 5 figures to 6 figures. Whereas someone with 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, they just have to take so much. Naturally, it's so much more risky to even take any kind of trade. Because if it doesn't work out, you lose so much of your account. And everyone obviously wants to get rich quick. But yeah, I've noticed the people that are successful are the ones that are patient, disciplined, who are willing to listen, who understand at least like, hey, when stocks go down, it's not the end of the world so long as they recover. And that's what we've seen. We've seen stocks, well, AITX is a perfect example of a stock that goes down. It never recovered with the market. Civil stock went down and it did recover here. And it's kind of moving with the market here. It bounced. So it's weird that Civil is moving with the market and not AITX. That's very interesting. But the point is, we see stocks that recover very well. The question you should ask yourself when things dump, what recovers well, and just make a watch list of those stocks that always recover. Civil is a perfect example. I mean, you can look at HIMS, perfect example of stocks that recover after a huge drop, after a downtrend. And a lot of these stocks pumped, TEM, look at that recovery. There's plenty of stocks that recover after their drop. Plenty. And what does that mean? There's always opportunity somewhere. But keep in mind, you had to hold through some pain, right? It hurts. I get it. It hurts to look at your account and you're in the red. I've been down 30%, 50%. But Nvidia, I'm still down like 10% on some positions. I was down like 50% on some positions. And that's okay. Because that's what you want. You want to be down. You want to be in the red because you're buying down here as it goes lower. Not the sucker that chases the top. It really is having to change your mind, having to change how you view the markets, how you see the stock market. Too many people don't treat it like a tool to make money to pay for whatever their bills are. Too many people see it as, I want to get rich quick, and that mentality is what destroys a lot of people. More people need the mentality of patience, discipline, and being okay with just setting these small achievable goals. There's these things that I call small achievable goals. If you have a job and you pay for internet, let's say $100 a month, you have to pay for that out of your hard-earned money that you spent an hour of your life to make, or two, depending on how much you make per hour. Instead of having to spend, let's say you make $25 an hour, instead of having to spend 4 hours of your life to make that 100 to pay for that internet bill, which is 100 a month, instead of having to give up 4 hours of your life to pay for that, you should use the stock market to pay that bill. And let's say you have 10 grand to start, let's say you sell a put and then a covered call on Mara stock, which is what we've been doing. And you can collect that sweet $100 and let's say $50 in premium over the course of a month. And it's not a lot. I get it. It's not a million shades. I get it. But again, it's about changing your mindset and seeing the stock market as a tool to make your bills have your bills get paid by the market instead of from your hard-earned money that you have to spend hours of your life to make. So assuming you have like 10K to start, you can sell quite a bit of covered calls and puts on Mara, collect like a nice $300 check every month after taxes. Maybe you keep, depending on where you're from, you keep like, let's say $250. You can pay for the internet bill and maybe $150 in grocery bills, assuming you're single and you shop at Walmart, and you can have it delivered, pay the DoorDash your $10, not delivery free, $10 tip, because it's not a big deal to you. It doesn't mean anything to you. It's coming from the markets, not from money that you worked hard for. Like I tip $10 minimum every time, whether it's a pizza delivery guy or whatever. And the reason I do that is because it doesn't come from my hard-earned money. It comes from the stock markets, the covered calls and the puts. So, when things are being paid from the market, you just have more freedom because you know that you didn't have to work, hours of your life to generate that 100 or $50 or whatever. Like sometimes I shop on Amazon. Let me see if I can pull up my Amazon. I don't know. Today's Memorial Day, so I just kind of wanted to make something a little more personal, just sitting here talking. Let's go to Amazon and Fiverr. Look, I make money from covered calls and puts, and I go to Fiverr and I immediately start ordering things from artists that are cheap from not India. What's the other one? I forgot what country they're from, where the dollar goes very far. I would never, if I worked at McDonald's still or DoorDash, I would never in my life go spend money on Fiverr. I would never pay an artist 60 to 180 bucks for something. I think I paid 180 for this one. Where does it say? I think, yeah, I paid $186 for this. 186. I would never spend that money. Imagine if I worked at for $25 an hour. That's 8 hours. That's a whole shift that I had to work to pay for this. That sucks. That sucks to spend 7, 8 hours of my life just to pay for a drawing, an animated drawing. But and on top of that, I had to spend like 4 hours figuring out what I want this character to look like, because I'm making a comic book, manga, whatever you want to call it, graphic novel. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. That's just the thing I want to do because I'm bored and I have nothing better to do because I just sit at home and have all the time in the world. And so I spent hours designing this character, getting all the references, all the brainstorming, and having to talk to my artist back and forth. Here you can see I have in my shopping list, I want to buy the MetaQuest 3, but I want to buy it. I want it to be on the stock market's dime. So until I make, like $700 after taxes, I keep maybe 500. I will not buy this until the stock market pays for it, either through covered calls or puts. And I keep mentioning covered calls and puts because that's the easiest way to generate income, the safest way. And after taxes, you keep a good amount, like 300 to 400, and you can, over the course of let's say 10 months, that's a nice 3 grand on top, just for holding stock and selling your calls and puts. And you can afford to buy these, a MetaQuest 3, or what do I have in my? I don't even know what I have in my car. I still got my trigonometry book. I got the motorcycle helmet. I'm buying that so I can vinyl wrap it, because if you guys remember, before the heart attack, I wanted to start a vinyl wrapping business, right? But I had the heart attack, and that kind of sent me into a depression, and then I finally overcame that, and now I'm fine. I'm normal, sort of. I can't really do boxing anymore. I can't do anything strenuous, lift anything heavy, but life is better now. I'm at we have our peaks and valleys in life. So that's just how it is. We all go through this. But I still want to do vinyl wrapping. So I'm buying a motorcycle helmet just to practice, just something to start practicing again now that summer's coming around. And I'm buying a black dress shirt and the purple tie just to dress like the anime character, the avatar that I got that I paid for on Fiverr, which was expensive, quote unquote expensive. It was like $200, but yeah, quote unquote expensive. Again, I guess I still have the mindset of a McDonald's worker, right? I still have the mindset of a DoorDasher, of someone that works at Anytime Fitness as a personal trainer. I still have that same, I guess mentality. Like, oh man, it took me, 5 hours to make $125. Like, I don't want to spend that on groceries. That's a lot of money. But that was back when I was less experienced and I didn't have the mindset that I have now. So please adopt the mindset of, let's have the stock market pay for the bills. Let the stock market pay for the phone bill, the net, whatever your bills are. Let the stock market pay for it by generating that income through covered calls or puts, or trading safe stock and taking the profit, taking the $300 or $200 off of a trade or scalp or whatever. And there you go. Like, if you make $1,200 in the stock market and you have an internet bill of $100, you just made a trade that paid for your yearly's worth of internet, and you should be content and happy with that. Like, hey, my internet bill just got paid by the market. But people don't think that way. They're just thinking, oh, 1,200. That's I'm not rich. I'm not. This isn't life changing. Like, the mindset is everything. I have one guy in my Discord who he's finally. Let me see if I can find him. I need to do an interview with this guy as well. But he finally realized, like, hey, I kind of don't lose if I just follow shades. If I listen to him and I just buy when stock gets cheap, it's kind of hard to lose, because then everything goes up. And because I'm buying good companies, or companies that, even if they're speculative, they have a lot behind them in terms of financials, fundamentals, or it's usually AI plays. That's usually what I focus on. Like, hey, it's almost like it's hard to lose. And because I'm always winning, I'm always making money. And you can see here, Bull for Life. He's the guy that I'm talking about.
Both for life here. Seb Luke is really his name, but he's banned from talking because he stripped in a video and posted it to to the one of the rooms. Yeah, but I still gave him a chance because I believe even the dumbest person, which he's not actually that dumb. He's not dumb at all, really. But I believe that even the most uneducated people can be successful in the market. And he's my like guinea pig, I guess. Piggy bank? No, not my piggy bank. That he's not a. He's my guinea pig. Like he's my experiment. Like I believe in this guy because if he's successful, then anyone can do it except for that Arabic guy, except for that Arabic guy. That Arabic guy can I hope he's doing well, but he was a little bit insane and a little too materialistic, and I wish I had an Arabic family that could just lend me 150 or 300K to trade with and blow it up, and then hell, here's another 30K. I wish, but that's not I don't come from that kind of money. I had to work for it. But this guy realized like, hey, let me see if I can find it. He wanted me to make a Bill Nye the Science Guy parody. Shades trades the stock market guy. Shades trades the stock market guy. Something like that is what he was telling me, and I'm like, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I can find someone on Fiverr to make it just for fun. Um, Let me see. Yeah, he's very transparent with his buys and sells. Let's see, 721, 721. What is that? I don't know what that is. Yeah, so this guy started with like 2K, went to 4K, then it dropped slowly, and then eventually he realized, okay, if I just listen to Shades, it's hard to lose. And you can see right here, like, it's kind of going up and down. He's kind of then slowly giving it away, and then boom, he got that big win, and then here he's. The point is, he's slowly climbing. You can see right here that he's learned. Because back then he was just kind of gambling and he would get some big scores here, and then in the downtrend, he just kept giving his money slowly, like eroding it. Polish girl, she had 600K to start with, and her portfolio dropped like this. It went like this, like it just dropped 50%. So hers looks different. Hers just has this huge uh, dip. Like it's just a huge hole in her portfolio, basically. Whereas this guy, he made his money, not a lot of it, but he made enough that he thought, hey, man, I'm a genius, right? And then it slowly eroded because of that downtrend. And then boom, that big win. And then here he's just, winning and losing. And then eventually he's slowly increasing his portfolio's worth. And he mainly plays the stocks that I talk about, and he's been listening. And this is someone that doesn't know technical analysis. He doesn't really know anything, quite frankly. He just knows follow Shades and I make money. Put money in the stocks he talks about at the right prices. And I'm talking about this guy because this guy, like, he made like $400, treated his family to a dinner, and he was just so happy. Like, oh my God, it was on the stock market's dime. It's so awesome to be able to treat people to, dinner, and it didn't come from my, supermarket paycheck. It came from the stock market's dime. It's awesome to put your money somewhere where it generates an extra 400 from trading, and I can just do whatever with that. I can pay for things, and it's not coming out of my hard-earned money. And that's an incredible feeling, he said. And we'll see if we can do the interview with him. I'm going to ask him right now because I know people want the interview with him. Let me see. I would love to do it today. I got time. Interview. I got time. Oops, what the? I might accidentally ban him. Or not ban him, kick him out if I'm not careful. Interview. We'll see if we can get an interview with this guy. But this guy's very transparent as well. And yeah, I was telling him I'm doing a small account challenge. And I've been using margin on the small account challenge because that's the only way I can, generate income selling calls and puts while having money tied up on mags. Because I'm doing a small account challenge where I'm holding mags for 5 years while also using a margin to generate income through selling calls and puts on Mara stock. That's a strategy of mine for small accounts, but I'm not going to talk about it just yet, mainly because I'm experimenting with it. I'm like, hey, what if we hold 5K worth of something that we know is going to appreciate in value over the next 5 years, because it always has, and it just keeps going up with the market. And then we use margin
to generate income with covered calls and puts. So yes, you only have 5K, but because of margin, you have access to another 5K thanks to using your stocks as collateral. Now, I don't advocate for margin. I don't advocate for borrowing money from, rich parents or whatever. I don't advocate for getting loans or selling your personal possessions to scrounge up money. I'd rather you start with, go work a gig, get your 5K, and then, you know, uh, you'll use margin, but you'll use it appropriately with strategy. And a lot of people, you know how they are. They don't go into the stock market with strategy. You'd be surprised how much you can make in the stock market if you actually just sit down and make a strategy, or just follow my strategies, the simple ones. But yeah, there's a whole strategy here with the small account. So me and him were going back and forth about the small account challenge, and I just told him, hey, look, I'm selling covered calls and puts, but you know, I have to pay some interest on it, and that's fine because if I'm generating $50 from a covered call or $35 from selling a put, the interest that I'm paying on borrowing that money against my stock as collateral is no big deal. And I was telling him, hey, you should use margin because there's a lot of opportunity here. And you can see the account here, just, the small account challenge here. For those of you who don't know, I have like a bunch of accounts on Schwab. For those of you who don't use Schwab, you can just call them and open up like 6, 8, 10 brokerage accounts. So if you have like 5 different strategies, you can have each account focused and dedicated to one strategy. That's just the thing I do. I don't know. But I don't know if other people do that. Yeah, the taxes part sucks, but you can just pay someone to do that anyways, and just give them all the statements. But anyways, I was showing him my small account challenge, and I'm like, see, it's slowly going up, and we just sell covered calls, puts, and we get our big wins here and there by taking a little more risk, and stocks recovered. Recently, so there was a lot of money being made on the small account. We're right now actually at around 4,500 or 5,000. No, wait, it says 6,590. I think that's because of the. Why does it say that? I think this is wrong. I think that's maybe because of margin. I don't remember why it jumped up this high. This doesn't make sense. But yeah, let's see his. Oh no, I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, look at his account here. His account here is just kind of, he added money to the account, right? That's why it jumped up here. And then he kind of slowly made a little bit of money, then gave some of it back, and then made more money. And you can see he's kind of like finally, like, if you think about it, if you think about this chart here as support and resistance, especially here, resistance, he finally got over that hump here. Whatever, I don't know what number that is. Let's say that's $8,000. He finally got over that hump. It pulls back. He gives back a little money, but then he makes more, and thus the cycle repeats. That's just how it is. Too many people, they want a straight line up. Like, they just want to get rich, right? They just want to make $1 million tomorrow. So they want to see this. They just a straight line up. Let me see if I can pull up the whiteboard. Again, it's Memorial Day. I figured I'd make something a little more fun, a little more interesting. Just give my thoughts on everything that's been happening, going on. Let's see. So that's what people want. I put in, 10K and boom, I'm rich, and I get out of the markets tomorrow and woohoo, I brag about it. That's what people want. But the reality is this is normal. You give some back, but you make more, and then you give some back. Maybe this one you give back quite a bit, and then, you just continue climbing higher. Maybe you get greedy and you give back way more than you should, but then you recover eventually because you learn from your mistakes. Like, that's the real trajectory of an account. Unless you're following the NVIDIA 100% win rate challenge, which in that case, your account is just kind of doing this. It really is doing this, but it's not really, you're not gonna. It's a get rich slow. This is like over the course of maybe 12 years, you get to $1 million. It's gonna take time, but anyways, let me get rid of the whiteboard. So yeah, this guy's very transparent. I love people who are transparent, who just tell it like it is, who just show, hey, I make mistakes, I learn from them, and I'm improving, and thank you so much. And I'm like, hey, look, it's on you. You take the risk. You take the risk. You're the one who has to go in there and click buy and click sell and make it happen. But it's worked out, and hopefully you guys have learned too. If he's learning, because I'm telling you right now, he's not the brightest, but he's not the dumbest. I don't know why people. I don't know why people in the Discord make it out to be like he's the dumbest, person there's ever been. He's not the dumbest. He's not the smartest. He's not the most educated. But guess what? This guy is succeeding, and if he can do it, then I know anyone can. And I hope you guys have been learning. I hope you, because I give away a lot of stuff for free because I don't really care. See, I usually give away the stuff that I know people aren't gonna they're not gonna have the patience, right? They're just not. Like a lot of people see Mars stock at 30 and they're like, whoa, we're going to 100. And then they see it down under the purple line at around 18, and then they see it go lower, 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 and they're just like, oh my god, it's over, it's the end of the world. And meanwhile, me and you, us, we're the Shades fam, whatever you want to call us. Shades the stock market guy or whatever, the Bill Nye Science guy. Um, we buy and we accumulate as it goes lower, and then we know it's going to recover, and we make our money and rinse and repeat. It really is that easy. Take advantage of the stock market. Please have a strategy. Please don't go all in. Rewire how you think. Think of the stock market as a tool to generate that extra $100, $200 minimum every month and pay for the internet bill on the stock market's dime. You like eating pizza? Cool. Let the stock market pay for it. And then once you're done with that one small achievable goal, add another. Like, hey, this month I want to pay for my pizza and for my groceries and the internet bill. So let's say $300, because for some reason you buy $100 worth of pizza. I mean, sometimes I do, but hey, it's on the stock market's dime, guys. Okay, of course I'm going to take advantage and buy lots of pizza when I buy pizza. So $300 is your goal every month. And if you're successful, and if you can do that, your pizza, your monthly pizza, because I don't know who buys pizza every week. That would be weird. You got problems at that point. Your monthly pizza, your grocery bills, and your internet is paid for. And then you can add another goal, like, hey, I kind of want to pay for this subscription, but I want it to be on the stock market's dime, and it's only a $20 subscription. So this month, let's try to make $320. Like, start small. Too many people are going to interpret this as, hey, he said make small achievable goals. Well, I'm going to try to make $10,000 a month. Like, no. Start small. Like today I'm going to order my stuff from Walmart, and I'm like, wow, I'm going to eat fruit on the market's dime. Like, it feels good. It feels good to eat something and it's on the market's dime. I mean, who doesn't like free, right? Who doesn't? Obviously, this is assuming you're profitable. A lot of people, I do want to talk about the social media illiteracy. Too many people, they see on social media, oh, this guy made a lot of money, but they don't realize that that person is a scam. They're just making it seem like they make a lot of money. And the reality is, if they do score big, they're not showing you all the losses that they took to even get to that point. I think I have a Vanguard. I could show you all my losses back when I first started. Yeah, I was looking up the vinyl wrapping. Vanguard, yeah, I started with Vanguard, then I moved over to Schwab because they got rid of trading penny stocks. So I was like, oh, screw you, I'm moving over to Schwab. I don't know if I can. No, I can't log in because I don't even remember my password or anything. But yeah, a lot of people on social media. If we just go to social media, and please, I want you to just, anytime you see big numbers on social media, if you see someone like bragging, oh, look, I made so much money, either they're lying to you, it's photoshopped or AI created, generated, or it's legit, but they're not showing you like, oh, by the way, for the past 3 years, I've been losing, over 50K. But hey, I scored big and made 50K here. But really, they're at break even over the course. So it took them 5 years to just to hit break even. But they don't care. They just care about the fact that I can brag about this big win. I turned 10K into 50K. Woo! It's kind of pathetic if you think about it. Like really, you're not here to make money. You're just here to try to score big and brag. Like, they just want bragging rights, and they're okay with losing 10 grand every year, trying to score big, just because they want to brag. That's just ridiculous. I guess people want to stroke their own ego, right? I don't know. Let me see if I can find anything here. See, so is this from today? Many deals coming? Yeah, so buy the dip is what I was saying. Futures are moving, yep, as expected. But I'm trying to see if I can find any of these posts. I watch a lot of boxing. I'm a boxing guy. I'm not a baseball guy. I live in a nice area with a ton of white people, so it's mostly white people around here, and they love baseball because one of the guys that went to my high school, he became, I think he got into the major leagues if I recall. So people take the game very seriously, even though it's just kids playing. Let me put it that way. Um, Fight week, oh, interesting. I'm trying to find some brag posts, but I can't seem to find any brag posts. But usually when you're scrolling through social media, you'll see someone say, look at me, I made, 100K, woo, and really they're just full of it. They're just full of it. It's not real. It's not. More often than not, most people are not willing to show their accounts. They're not, because they're on talk. And so don't believe everything you see on social media. I think I've met too many people who join the Discord and who have this like really ridiculous, like completely delusional mentality. Like they think they think I'm a genie and I'm somehow gonna print them money. I can print you money slowly, but that's not what people want. They want to print money, like as in a million tomorrow. So please, like whenever you see something on social media, just keep in mind there's AI now. So there's just a lot of AI generated stuff. Like I can go to AI right now and tell it, hey, generate a portfolio that looks like Schwab and that has lots of numbers. And I'm sure it could generate something. In fact, I could probably take a picture of my portfolio and have it manipulate the numbers and generate an image that looks like it. I bet I could do that, and I could just Photoshop it too. Anyways, that's a little more time consuming. If you're smart, you use AI. I think at this point, I don't know how good AI image generation is for that kind of stuff, but really at this point, we're living in an age where you don't want to really believe anything you see. You always got to be skeptical. Always be skeptical when you see big numbers, people bragging about, oh, look, I scored big, I know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of scammers out there, and I've had people reach out to me and tell me, hey, I joined this Discord, and they kind of suck. Like, they're not very transparent. They score big here and there, but then they brush under the rug, like, hey, don't look at these losses, though. or they do this. They talk about, like, 10 different tickers. They go, hey, look at ARKB, look at TSSI, Mara, Mags, put money in them. Good luck. And if one of them pumps, they'll be like, they'll only focus on the one that pumped. They'll be like, hey, TSSI, it pumped. Woo, we're so good at this in this Discord. And then, if ARKB, Mara, and Mags dumped, they just brush it under the rug and pretend like, oh, no, we never talked about that. The people do that on social media. They'll post, I think we're going to go to the moon. And if they're wrong, they just delete the post. I think too much ego, self-choking, too much. It's weird. I'm here to make money. This is a business. I'm here to make money. I don't care about no ego stroking or none of that. I don't care to brag. If I brag, it's because I'm good at this, and I brag because I know that there's people who will tell you, yeah, this guy's really good. I want other people to brag for me. Let me put it that way. I think there's a word for that, but I can't think of it right now. Let other people do the talking. Let me put it that way. Let other people do the talking. Let other people praise me. I don't need to praise myself. I don't need to say anything other than, hey, here's the strategy. You do what you got to do with it. If you can be patient and disciplined, you will be successful. And I think I'm going to stop the video there because this has been quite the video. It's probably been over an hour. I'm going to look at OBS real quick. Whoa, 43 minutes. We'll end it at 45. So to summarize, it's been one hell of a year. I remember telling people 5 months ago at the beginning of the year, like, hey, if you're joining my Discord, you're joining it when I'm in my prime. That doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes. That doesn't mean I'm not learning. I'm still learning to this day. I'm very good at swing trading regular stocks. Not very good at swing trading penny stocks. Barely profitable with swing trading penny stocks. I don't know much about options buying. I'm good at options selling. So there's still a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, if you find what works, you're going to stick to it. But I'm one of those people that I have to learn, I have to learn everything. I want to be good at everything. I want to be good at options buying. I want to be good at day trading regular stocks. I want to be good at swing trading penny stocks. I want to be good at low float plays. I want to be good at all this. Even though I already found what works, I'm always going to have that hunger for more, to be good at, everything, to be a master at all, not jack of all trades, not master at just one. I want to be master of all the plays, all the kinds of plays that are in the market. But that takes time, and it's going to require a lot of patience and discipline, which I already have. So I kind of have that advantage of I've already been through it. I've already been through the fire. I've already taken plenty of losses. I know to be patient and disciplined. I know not to trade big on new plays, on new strategies, and go in small and test the strategies and innovate and all that. So I'm still going to say I'm in my prime in terms of trading if we were to compare it to boxing. I'm still in my prime, and we still got a long way to go. We're always learning. No one knows everything. Usually once you find what works, you stick to it because it's a moneymaker. Unless you're bored. There are people in my Discord. There's a guy named Jay who left my Discord recently, and I'm grateful that he left because this Discord wasn't for him. He just wanted to. He has like 1 million plus, I think, trading account, so he can afford to gamble and lose that gamble, and it's nothing to him. But the problem is, this isn't a Discord for gambling. I'm not here to give you your euphoria or daily, weekly high, whatever. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to give you this dopamine hit. I get my dopamine hit when these get cheap. And then I'm like, wow, I'm buying it cheap. Whoa, that's my dopamine hit. This guy just wanted to gamble. And he wanted the dopamine hit of making lots of money quick and then brag about it probably. So he finally left the Discord. And I just want to say, like, I don't want people like that in my Discord. We're not here to gamble. We're here to be a business and make lots of money and make good decisions. And if you can do that, you belong in my Discord if you can do that. But number two, you're just, because you treat it like a business, you want to see your revenues go up. And you want to see yourself succeed. So that mindset is better than this guy who just wants to gamble and brag, is the kind of guy that he was. There's all kinds of people in the stock market. I've met all kinds of people, and the successful ones are usually Gen X. They're on the older side. They already have at least 10K to 20K, 40K, 50K, or more. Some people have like 6 figures to trade with, and really it's Gen X and the ones that have like 6 figures. Those are the ones that are really succeeding. Because they got 6 figures already to trade with, and they're okay with playing it safe, being patient, and sitting on positions, and they can afford to take a 10K hit, no problem. The Gen X with smaller accounts, like in the 5 figures range, they're succeeding too. It's usually the millennials that have problems in my Discord, I've noticed, because they just want to get rich quick, and they end up leaving because they're not getting their dopamine hit. That's really what it is. But there are some millennials who are succeeding, and they will continue to succeed as long as they continue to be disciplined. Really, a lot of these millennials, they just have to behave like a Gen X at that point. They just have to have Gen X mentality and just take it slow. It's okay. You still got, plenty of life ahead of you. You're probably 29 to 32 if you're a millennial. That's usually the age that I meet. The age of the millennials that I meet are 28 to 32, and probably still living with their parents. Not all of them, but some of them are. Some of them have a girlfriend. Some of them have very lofty goals, but ultimately, if they want to succeed, they got to treat it like a business and be patient and disciplined. So that's my suggestion, my advice for millennials is just take it slow, man. You still got 20 years ahead of you before you're 50. But some of them act like their life's going to be over tomorrow if they don't get rich quick. It's ridiculous. Whereas Gen X, they kind of already, they're 50 plus. They have some money to, and they've already worked a job for 30 plus years, since they were 20 to 50 or 18 to 50, or I think they worked at a younger age back then. No, I don't know. Some people started working like at 12 or 7. I don't know, but maybe I'm going too far back. Maybe I'm going back to like the 1700s. But no, Gen X has been much easier to work with, and they've been a lot more successful, is what I've noticed. They have the patience and discipline already built in, whereas millennials, for some reason, they're like the opposite of their parents. They just don't have the patience and discipline. I didn't have the patience and discipline when I first started. But the stock market kind of teaches you, like, you either be patient or disciplined, or we're gonna take your money and spit you out. Um, yeah, I had to learn the hard way, just like Polish girl, but not losing 300K. Hell no, I lost less. I lost like 6K. But relative to the account that I had, 12K, it was quite a hit. But I learned from that. I was like, ooh, I'm never buying penny stocks again unless they're like at the absolute bottom. And then I still make mistakes. Conditions change. We're seeing that happen with Trump right now. Under Trump's stock market, conditions have changed, and we have to treat things differently, these dips differently. We have to treat downtrends differently. Really, at the end of the day, when you zoom out, what does the stock market keep doing? It just keeps going up, and that's all you need to know. And that's all you need to know, because you can just buy something safe. It goes up, you make money. Another thing I want to talk about. I said that was going to be the end of the video. Another thing that's been on my mind is too many people, they don't have long-term investments. Like, it's just all it's all just risky bets, and too many people don't buy something long-term. Like, there's people who have over 10K to trade with, but they don't they don't hold Nvidia or Microsoft or Apple or anything that continues to climb higher over the long term. Like, we know that stocks are going to appreciate in value over the next 5 years. They've always done that. The stock market has been around for over, 100 years? And guess what? It just keeps going up. So from 2025 to 2030, that, I know it seems like a lot, 5 years, but if you invest in some of these safer stocks or ETFs and just sit on 5K, sit on 5K, and put 5K into one of these and sit on it for 5 years, you might actually make more from that than from trading. Because in 5 years, a stock can go 100. I mean, it compounds, right? If Nvidia moves 50%, well, it's already moved 50%. It went from like 86 to 130, so it already moved 50%. But if Nvidia moves 50% one year, and then the next year 20%, and then maybe 80% the following year, I mean, you're not selling at any of those points. You're holding for 5 years. That's going to compound. You're no longer making 1x or 2x. You're making like 8 to 12x over the course of that 5 year time frame. That's what people don't think about. See, they want the 10x and the 12x tomorrow, but they don't realize you can just buy something safe, sit on it for 5 years, and you can make that 3 to 5x to 8x, 12x, and your account's going to go from like $5,000 to $50,000, or $5,000 to $25,000. Whereas your trading account, you might blow it up, maybe not, maybe just slowly, work your way up to 10, 20, and then 30K. So please have some safe investments. Like, if you have 10K, put 5K into Nvidia, because that's like the shovel company, right? The gold rush is here, but it's the AI rush, is how I would put it. And everyone's buying the chips from Nvidia. So why not just buy the person selling chips? And that is Nvidia. If I had to pick one to hold for the next 5 years, it's Nvidia. And expect about 300 to 1,000% return. Wait, no, 300 to 1,000% return. Because 5 years is a long time. 5 years is a long time, and Nvidia is volatile enough that it can get you that kind of return in 5 years. I mean, recently it went from 86 to 130s. That's a 50% in a short amount of time, in a few months. Imagine over the course of 5 years. So please have money in a safe investment that you're not going to look at. You're just going to put the 5K in it, and you never look at it. You don't touch it. You're not tempted to take it out when you're up 100%. You hold for the 5 years. You buy on the 25th of May, and 5 years in 2030, the 25th of May, you sell. You don't question it. You just sell, and you might be like, damn, it was really this easy? Imagine if I didn't have that 5K in Nvidia for 5 years. I'd have nothing right now. So people forget, they're so focused on the trading, they're so focused on being successful trading, they forget, like, hey, you can, if you're going to be trading for a long time, if you're going to be trading the stock market for 5 to 10 years, or for the rest of your life, if you're going to be a student of it for the rest of your life, might as well have some long-term investments. You might find out, hey, I'm actually really good at investing, better than trading. I might just stick to that. I had to learn the hard way. I learned that I was a good swing trader of regular stocks. By regular stocks, I mean, blue chip stocks that just continue to climb higher. And I learned the hard way by trading penny stocks, swing trading them, and losing money. I tried day trading, I was losing money. I tried option trading, losing money. In fact, I got to the point where I was making money swing trading, but then I would give it back trying to be a good day trader, trying to be a good options trader, trying to be good at swing trading penny stocks. And that data was revealed through Excel because I keep track of all my trades in Excel. Let me see if I can pull that up. I keep track of all my trades in Excel for that reason, and you should too, because you never know. You can just take that document, ask ChatGPT, hey, what do you think? Let's go to the trade tracker. And so yeah, I keep track of everything in Excel, and that reveals to me where my weaknesses are, where my strengths are, what stocks I'm very good at, trading. And I actually just recently added an option selling alert tracker, and you can see how much we've made, win loss percentage, number of trades. And then I asked ChatGPT, like, hey, what do you think of this trader's, Excel document? High frequency of NVIDIA and Riot trades suggest trader actively targets volatility and liquidity, which is true. NVIDIA is volatile enough that it can go up 50% despite being, $100 stock. Riot stock, Bitcoin exposure. When Bitcoin goes up, Riot goes up, we take our profit. Many trades are closed quickly with small positive gains, indicating a disciplined risk strategy. Yep. It's mostly tech and AI and crypto. That's true in growth sectors. With some dividend exposure, that's also true. And I do sell puts and calls to generate some income on top. And when we look at the swing trading alerts tracker, you can analyze your trades and your investments. And 5 years from now, you can be like, wow, I'm really good at trading that one stock. Maybe I should just focus on that. And then you focus on that and just trading that one stock that you just can't seem to lose, and you just print money. But you know how people are. They get bored. Like, oh yeah, but $50 a day, whatever. I want the high. I want the dopamine hit shades. That's how some people are, unfortunately. They just can't sit down and just appreciate like that they found something that makes them money consistently. That's really what it is. It's consistency. So we look at Rigetti. You can tell like I only took one trade or two. Kind of had, not much confidence in it, quite frankly. Soundhound, SCHD. So if we look through, you'll notice Stag. You can clearly see that I love Stag. I love trading that one. I love trading, what else? ARKB, which is Bitcoin exposure. I love trading Bitcoin via exposure through the Bitcoin miners or the ETFs. You can see Moral Stock, a Bitcoin miner. I love trading that one. Riot Stock, another Bitcoin miner. Love trading. I really make my money, now that I think about it, off of just Bitcoin's movement by buying the cheaper, quote unquote, riskier stocks that follow Bitcoin's movement. So Riot, Mara, and NVIDIA. So tech. Really, I'm just focused on tech and Bitcoin exposure and making my money that way. But you can see very clearly NVIDIA is like my moneymaker. And the only way I would know this is if I actually kept track of everything and then asked ChatGPT. So if I really wanted to, I could just trade NVIDIA for the rest of my life and I'd be fine. But like I said, I want to be good at everything. Not every single stock, but just at every possible strategy that is out there that at least intrigues me. Like low float plays, they intrigue me. Low float means that it doesn't take much volume for it to skyrocket dollars. You've ever seen those stocks that just suddenly explode dollars, and you're like, how do you get in those before the crowd? Well, my friend, you gotta sit on the position, right? How do you get in before the crowd? You gotta buy it when no one wants it and sit on it. You gotta buy it, and as it goes down lower and sit on it, and then boom, it doubles, triples. This thing went from what, 9 to 16. Like if you want to get in these before they explode, you really have to take the risk, but you also have to be confident, because low float means it can go up fast, lots of dollars, but it can also drop fast, lots of dollars. I want to be good at these. I want to be good at options buying, day trading with options, swing trading options. I want to be good at all this other stuff. Again, I want to be a master at them, not just a jack of all trades. But that takes, of course, probably going to take me like 10 plus years. It takes a lot of experience and making mistakes. So I could just buy NVIDIA. and just sit on it. I could just day trade and swing trade NVIDIA forever and I'd be fine. But for you guys, and just for my own self satisfaction as well, I want to be good at, low float plays and all that. Because I've seen other traders be successful with them, and I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can. So I reverse engineer their strategies and I figured out, wait a minute, he just likes to buy companies that have potential, and then he buys them when they're cheap, and because it's a low float, when it gets any kind of volume, it just pumps 10, 20, 50% like that, moves dollars. So the difference between his strategy and mine is he actually spends a lot of time researching, and and once he's found a stock that has the fundamentals and potential in a sector that's popular like AI, or biotech, he'll alert it and tell people, hey, this is a buy it down here because when it gets the next catalyst, it's just gonna boom like a couple dollars, and that's a lot of money. So that's low float plays. It's a new thing that I'm getting into. I usually don't trade low float because the danger is it can also drop dollars real quick. But again, I've joined other discords secretly and just studied their strategy, reverse engineered them, their strategy, their thought process, and then I do my own version of it. That's just how I am. I don't know. Have I made a video talking about reverse engineering strategies? I think I maybe have or haven't. I don't remember. But yeah, I forgot where I was going. I've learned a lot. Hopefully you have too. I still got a lot to bring to the table, so be on the lookout for future strategies. And that's it. I think I've been talking too long and I'm losing my voice. Happy holidays, guys, and I will see you on Tuesday.